From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 19th, 2024. A school in central Israel was hit overnight last night by a surface-to-surface missile launched by the Houthis in Yemen, causing the structure's partial collapse. The school was empty at the time as the attack happened around 2:30 a.m. local time in Israel, and there were no injuries. The school, which is in the Tel Aviv suburb of Ramat Gan, is believed to have been hit by the rocket warhead when it was partially intercepted. The missile set off red alert sirens across central Israel, sending millions of Israelis to bomb shelters and safe rooms in the middle of the night. The IDF responded to the incident and to the ongoing attacks by the Houthis, hitting several military targets in Yemen early this morning. Here is IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari with more.
Over the last 14 months, the Iran-backed Houthi terror regime in Yemen has launched hundreds of missile and UAV attacks against the state of Israel. This happened again tonight. The Houthi terror regime fired a missile toward central Israel, forcing millions of civilians to take cover in bomb shelters. In the last 2 weeks only, the Houthis fired a drone that hit an apartment block in southern Israel. And on Sunday, they fired a long-range missile toward central Israel. The Houthis have been carrying out attacks against Israel in violation of international law, and the Houthi regime is a threat to peace and security in the region. Today, the IDF conducted precise strikes on Houthi military targets in Yemen, including ports and energy infrastructures in Sana'a, which the Houthis have been using in ways that effectively contributed to their military actions. Israel will not hesitate to act in order to defend itself and its citizens from the Houthis' attacks.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said of the Houthis, they are not attacking just us, they are attacking the entire world. They are attacking the international shipping and commercial lanes. Thus, when Israel takes action against the Houthis, it is acting on behalf of the entire international community. The Prime Minister said the Americans understand this very well, as do many others. After Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Assad regime in Syria, the Houthis are almost the last arm of Iran's axis of evil. They are finding out and will find out the hard way that whoever harms Israel will pay a very heavy price. The IDF later today shared footage of the strikes on the Houthi targets in Yemen. The IDF continues its operation in Gaza against terror group Hamas, eliminating terrorists and terror infrastructure, and said today that Air Force fighter jets hit terrorists who were operating in command and control complexes in areas that were previously used as schools, saying Hamas terrorists used the school's premises for terrorist activities, planning and executing terrorist acts against IDF forces and the State of Israel, noting that prior to the attack, many steps were taken to reduce the chance of harming civilians, including the use of precision weapons, aerial surveillance, and additional intelligence information. Well, Israel responded today to a report from Human Rights Watch claiming that it deliberately deprived Gazan civilians of water and called that an act of genocide. Israel's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Oren Marmerstein called the accusations blood libels, saying since the beginning of the war, Israel has facilitated the continuous flow of water and humanitarian aid into Gaza, despite, he said, operating under constant attacks of Hamas, and has ensured water infrastructure, including the continuous operation of 4 water pipelines and water pumping and desalination facilities, which remain operational. Marmerstein also noting the ongoing delivery of water tankers into Gaza. Israel's COGAT, who coordinates and facilitates humanitarian aid for Gaza, said this libelous claim is an egregious lie. citing 3 water lines from Israel are active, supplying an average of 107 liters per person in northern Gaza, 34 liters per person in central Gaza, and 20 liters per person in southern Gaza, saying according to international standards, conflict zones require 15 liters of water per person daily, noting that Israel's supply was way over that, saying we operate in accordance with international law. Saying otherwise is just flagrant deceit. Yesterday, female members of the U.S. House of Representatives and leaders of the Bipartisan Women's Caucus joined hostage families at a joint press conference on Capitol Hill, led by Representatives Kat Kamek, together with Representatives Amelia Sykes, Monica Dela Cruz, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and Kathy Manning, who stood together with released hostage and wife of American hostage Keith Siegel, Aviva Siegel, and sister of hostage Romi Gonen, Yarden Gonen, with a unified and urgent call for the immediate release of the 100 hostages still held by terror group Hamas in Gaza, now for 440 days. The Hostage Families Forum wrote in a strong display of bipartisanship, the leaders sent a powerful message. This is not about politics. It is a humanitarian imperative, one that transcends politics, to reunite families, end the hostages' unimaginable ordeal, and reaffirm the fundamental values of human life. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, December the 19th. At 6:30, I sit down with Raphael Shore, founder of Open Dor Media, to discuss his new documentary, Tragic Awakening, that delves into the roots of the oldest hatred of antisemitism. That conversation is followed by the film itself at 7. Then at 8 on Being Jewish with Jonah Platt, Jonah is joined by storyteller, director, and activist Zhailon Levingston. Then it's Andrew Kliegerman on L'chaim, and at 10, a replay of my sit-down with Raphael Shore. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 19th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.